Yeah. Please, sorry for being mute for a while. I'm trying to share the link. This is kind of impromptu, but today I just decided to have a session with my audience because it's been a while. Next week, I have um, a friend of mine who is coming to share his experience. So yeah, let's take note of that. I think I have to even post it on Facebook. Today I woke up and I received some messages on my Facebook saying that I've violated one of their Meta trademarks, which I don't know where it's coming from. I'm even thinking it's scam. So they told me within 24 hours they are going to shut down my account. Let's see how it goes. I'm hoping it's just those fraud, those scam stuff. But if it's going to be shut down too, I'll just make sure I file a complaint and see if I'll be able to get a channel back. Yeah, but that's just by the way. If you are here, you are watching, you want to keep sending your questions. If you want to come on board and ask your questions too, I can add you so that you come and ask your questions as well. So yeah, just keep sharing. Yeah, so I'm streaming live on all the social media platforms. If you have any questions pertaining to your study abroad journey, please make sure you send it or you ask me so that I answer to those questions. Yeah. So today it's just gonna be um things that are happening. Things are really happening with Trump's administration. So it is good for me to come and update you guys some of the things that are really going on or some of the things that are really happening here. So that is one. And two, I know people have gotten admissions, people have received their decisions. Some have gotten funding, some no funding, some to partial funding. So this is an opportunity for us to talk through some of these things, especially those that got admissions without funding. What are your next steps? What can you do in order to secure funding opportunities? If you got partial funding, what are some of the things you can do in order to be able to get a raise or get a fully funded scholarship? Because I always say this, and I believe some of you have heard this before, that when your funding decision is very good, when your funding decision is very how do I put it? Like if you have a very good funding from the school, your chances of getting your visa approved is very, very, very high. Let me repeat that again. If you have a form of assistantship, if you have a form of scholarship from your school, your chances of getting your visa approved is very, very, very high. So let's talk through some of these things. How can you secure fully funded scholarship or fully funded assistantships or opportunities? And also, I know some students are really preparing for their graduate interview. Some of you, you've done it already, right? Some of you are yet to have an interview with a school. And let me say this, so sometimes when you're applying to the schools and they reach out and they ask you or they tell you, we want to have an interview with you, I know sometimes people are overjoyed and they are happy. Oh, they are coming to have an interview with me. It means I got in. No, that is not the case. A school can schedule an interview with you because it's part of the application process. It does not necessarily mean that you've gotten acceptance or admission into the school. It depends, right? So if you've not received any decision letter, you've not received any funding opportunities from them, and you apply to a particular school, you just head back from them and they are like, we want to have an interview with you. It means that the interview they are going to have with you is part of the application process, and they are going to base on that to be able to give you a decision, to be able to give you funding, to be able to give you assistantship, right? So we'll talk through some of that as well. So if you are here, if you are joining, you want to share the live, you want to share so that other people can join. So if you, wherever you are watching from, if you have plans or you have intentions of studying abroad, this is 2025. We are still in February, and time is not really it's not like, how do I put it? Like there's still time because this is the very good time. This is the very good season for you to start putting in your preparations. This is the time for you to start, making the right inquiries and all of that. It's not too late. So today the conversation is going to be very broad. We will talk about those that applied last year and are waiting for decisions. Those who applied last year for fall 2025, I know most of you, you've started receiving feedback from the school. If you applied to 10 schools by now, you've received 3 love letters. And if I say love letters, that is a popular phrase or a popular thing in Nigeria. Like if someone tells you you've received a love letter, it means you've been denied admission, you've been denied entry into a particular school. So if I know some of you, you've received like denial decisions from these schools. Some of the schools they've denied you, and some of the schools too, they've given you admission. They've given you, some of them, they've even given you funding. That is how funny and serious it can be with studying abroad, with applying to schools. Sometimes you ask yourself, I applied to 10 schools, right? So you applied to 10 schools and 5 schools reach out to you and they rejected you. So sometimes you'll be asking yourself, what is really wrong with my application? What is wrong with me? Is there something I didn't do right? What is happening? Then it's like you have this anxiety, you have this fear, you are nervous because the other 5 schools, you are thinking your chances of going to those schools or your chances of going to get admission into those schools is going to be very minimal. It's going to be very less, right? Or it's going to be very minimal. But that shouldn't be the case. That is how funny and serious this situation is. The fact that you use the same statement of purpose to apply to the same programs to different schools. 5 schools have rejected you. It doesn't mean the other 5 schools are going to reject you, because honestly, sometimes you can't really tell their criteria. You can't really tell the metrics they are using to, get the best students for their department. So, so far as you've been denied for 5 schools and you still have other 5 schools, be hopeful that at least one will go through for you. I always tell people, you just need 1 yes. You just need 1 yes. You don't need 5 admissions and 5 fully funded scholarships. Well, if you are fortunate, like I had the opportunity to get like 5 funding opportunities. It comes with some vibe. Now it's like you are bossy. You now decide which school to go. As they are giving you love letter, this time around, you have the opportunity to now reject other schools, right? So it is what it is. It ends what it ends. You know what? Yeah. So please don't be anxious. Be anxious for nothing. The fact that I said, you've been rejected for 5 schools doesn't mean the other 3 schools, the other 2 schools are going to reject you. You never know. And like I said, you just need 1 yes, you just need 1 approval from these schools, which is going to come with some good funding, and you transition, right? So I'm live on TikTok, I'm live on Facebook, I'm live on YouTube. If you are watching, you want to share the link for me so that, because like I said, I didn't plan this. Next week, Saturday, I've planned it. I have a very good friend of mine, Michael, who is coming to share his experience. He did his master's in Ghana. He's doing a second master's here in higher education and administration. So next week, we're going to have him and he's going to share what he went through, because I quite remember when he was starting, there was a time or there was a point where he needed my help. So I helped him one way or the other. And today he's here. So he's going to share his experience with us. Um, Next week Saturday, so please mark your calendars. Next week Saturday, we are going live with our dear brother, and he's going to share his experience. Like I said, today I didn't really plan it, but I just wanted to come here. And I've been receiving some messages in my emails, and sometimes it takes time for me to attend, respond to such emails. So if you are here, you've sent me an email, I've not responded to you, this is the opportunity for you to request to come on board and ask me. Let's chat. I just want to dedicate like 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes for us to discuss your application journey, for us to discuss your study abroad journey. Where are you in a process? What is happening? Is there anything bothering your mind? You want someone who has also been through the same process or the same journey to come and clarify things for you? Then today is a good time. Today is a good opportunity for us to have that convo. So good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching from. It's 2:54 p.m. here. I know some countries are leading by 6 hours, 7 hours. So based on where you are watching from, just you can put in your comments. You can put in any doubts. Prospective students, prospective graduate students, undergraduates as well. I'm here to answer all questions like that. And please forgive me if most of the things I'm going to say is going to be for graduate school, because that is what I did. So I feel I have a lot of experience with that. But it doesn't also mean I don't have experience when it comes to undergraduate programs. I have experience there as well. So if you have any questions you want to ask, please make sure you put them in the comment section, or like I said, you just request to come on board, and I'll add you. We then have a good conversation today. Okay, yeah. So let's start. So today, what do I have for you? Wait, let me see. Let me take some 2 minutes to share, so that we can get other people on board. So let me take some time to share. Share the link. Share it so that people can join us. So I'm also sharing it. Mm. Yeah, so I have 15 to 20 things to talk about today. So I'll mention the things that I want to talk about, then I'll try and explain them. And this is going to be very broad and very general. It's going to encompass like a lot of things. So wherever you are watching from, if you're a prospective graduate student, a prospective undergraduate student, and you are looking forward to apply to schools this year, then, like I said, this is the very good time for you to start preparation. This is the very good time for you to start putting in your necessary inquiries and all of that. So I'll talk about those that are coming to start this year. Then I'll also talk about those that started last year and have started getting decisions from the schools. And some of you guys have been scheduled for interviews. Someone can ask, I've been getting that a lot. How can I ace my interview? How can I make sure my interview is going to go in my favor? How do I convince the committee? Is that simple? So, like I said, today is going to be very broad. But first, let me take it from the point of those that are um, starting the application journey this year. So, 2025, we are in February. Today is 15 February. This is the very good time for you to start putting in your preparation, for you to start putting in your inquiries. Then you might ask me, so where do I start from? I'm in Ghana, I'm in Kenya, I'm in Nigeria. I want to study abroad. Bro, can you tell me how to start? Is that simple but also tough at the same time? So, one thing that you have to know is that you ask yourself, what program do I want to go and pursue? Do you already have a master's degree? Do you want to come and do a PhD, or do you want to come and do a second master's? If you have a first master's, you want to come and do a second master's, it is possible. You have an undergraduate degree or a college degree, you want to further to come and do a master's, it is possible. There are some who come here to even do postdoc and even other fellowship programs and all of that. So you ask yourself, what is the program I want to pursue? Right? So if you are in the sciences or if you are in the non-STEM, these are the two main umbrella terms, right? We have the STEM, we have the non-STEM. So non-STEM means psychology, communications, advertising, public relation, a lot of programs, right? History, religion, non-STEM. And STEM, we are talking about science, we are talking about IT, we are talking about, all those engineering programs. So those are the STEM programs as well. Now you ask yourself, what did I do during my bachelor's? Because based on what you did, that is what is going to inform you what you want to do for your master's or for your PhD. Now, don't get it twisted, right? The fact that I'm saying don't get it twisted is the fact that if you did STEM, right, during your bachelor's or during your college level, it doesn't mean you can't do non-STEM when you are going for a master's, especially in the United States. You can change it. So the fact that you did IT does not necessarily mean you have to come here and do IT. You can always change the course. So someone might ask, how is that possible? It is really possible because when you are applying to a particular school, you don't really have advantage, or you don't really have autonomy or authority. Let me put it that way. You don't really have um, a lot of power when it comes to the documents that you are submitting, because you can't fake your transcript. If you fake it, they find out, they will bring you back home, they will deport you. Recently, an incident like that happened last year where the students forged their transcript. And as I don't know where that case is now, but I think they are still in court or whatever. They are still, um is you don't want to go down. So make sure you are using your genuine transcript from the school you completed, right? So, like I said, some of the things you don't have mastery over, like the transcript, you don't have mastery over. Recommendation letters, you don't have mastery over, especially as of I know, like when you are talking about recommendation letters, you are not the one going to send it. Your professors are sending it on your behalf, and sometimes you always have to wish your right not to see it, right? You wave it off. So you don't even see it. So you don't even have mastery over your recommendation letters. The reason why I'm saying all of this is that you only have mastery and power or authority over two documents, over two things, over two application materials, and that is your statement of purpose and your academic CV. Your statement of purpose and your academic CV. That is what you have mastery over. So that is where you do the convincing. That is where you do the branding. That is where you sell yourself to the committee that, I've done this, this is why I want to switch. I've done this, this is why I want to switch, right? So, in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is that the fact that you did a particular program during your bachelor's or you did a particular program during your um, high school days, WASI, it doesn't mean you can't go in for a different program when you're applying, especially to the United States. I don't know for Canada, I don't know for UK, but I feel that kind of flexibility is everywhere, right? You just have to give them reasons why you are changing from a particular program to the other. And you are going to do that in your statement of purpose, right? So please, this is the time. Start gathering your document. You ask yourself, how do I start? Go and search for a particular school. It can be any school. It could be any school. There are a lot of schools in the United States. I'm in Colorado. In Colorado, I can count about 4 universities here. Colorado State University, University of Denver, University of Colorado, Boulder, Fort Collins, you get a university there. We have School of Mines. There are a lot of universities here, private and public, just in one state. So there are a lot of universities in the United States. Now, just pick one school. So maybe you pick Colorado State University. Then you ask yourself, which course do I want to pursue? You choose the course and you go to the program's website and you check the requirements. It's as simple as that. The requirements are there. So you check the requirements. Then you get your small book somewhere. You'll be checking the boxes. Oh, okay. They need 3 recommendation letters. In school, I was free with Professor Amoako. I was free with, I think I was free with this other prof. You start making plans. You start making plans. They ask for, statement of purpose. Then you say, okay, how do I write statement of purpose? Put it on Google. You can also go to YouTube. A lot of YouTubers have taught how to write statement of purpose and how to write academic CV. Check my channel, Facebook. I have all those things there. Then once you write it, you give to people you trust for them to review for you. That is all. Someone asks, but Evans, what about test scores? I don't have money. There are a lot of schools here that have waived their test scores because of COVID. And even aside COVID, when you come to the United States, there is something we call the affirmative action or the affirmation action, which was taken to court by some states because they felt that some schools like Harvard and those big schools used to give admissions based on race. They used to give admissions based on color. They used to give admissions based on the high scores that you had in your GMAT or your GRE. And some states were like, no. Some group of students gathered and like, no, that is some segregation going on there. That is some discrimination. Why do you have to give a student admission and funding opportunities just because they scored higher in their GRE or in their test scores or in their IELTS? You get a point. So it's a lot that goes into that. Like the affirmative action is just like, they go into court, taking some schools to court to say that, you know what, you have to get rid of being like race conscious when you are giving admission decisions to students because it actually prevents students that could have gained opportunity into your school. And when it comes to this test scores, the GRE, the GMAT, it all falls there. So it was as a result of some of these court issues, these court proceedings, and the COVID-19, most schools got rid of test scores, right? So if you are coming to apply to school in 2025, one of the things you have to ask yourself, do I have money to write GRE or GMAT? If you don't have money, then what I can entreat you to do is that look for schools that do not accept test scores. There are a lot of them. If you can also write it, please write it, because recently I visited a friend of mine in Old Dominion University who came with business, economics or whatever. He wrote the GRE, he passed, and as we speak, he's here, and his other 4 schools that he applied into, he's still getting admissions and funding. So when you have the opportunity and you write it, it gives you an upper hand, right? But if you don't have the money, you can skip it, and it doesn't mean you are not going to get into the schools. I didn't write any GRE. I didn't write any test scores. I didn't write GMAT. There are some programs you can't get rid of them. I will entreat you to write it, like the business programs. You got to write your GMAT or your GRE because it is part of the, based on my experience, I've realized you can't skip it, especially if you are, like I said, those business programs, right? So you ask yourself, you take a school, you check what they are looking for, you look at the things you can provide, the things you can provide, you start making plans, because the fall application is going to start somewhere in late August and September. That is, if you are trying to apply for this year, 2025, the best time for you to apply is late August and September going. A lot of schools are going to open their application portals for you to start putting in your application, right? Someone asked me a question right now, that is it too late to apply this time to get in? It's not too late. You can, but honestly, it's going to be a bit tough for you, because most of the schools, they've started giving admissions, they've started giving funding decisions. So if you're applying now, I would entreat you to apply now, targeting spring, because spring starts in January. So if you start applying now, it means you are targeting spring semester, and by December this year you should be in the United States, so that you start your program in January. But spring semester, it doesn't really come with a lot of funding opportunities for international students as compared to the fall semester or the fall intake, right? With the fall intake, they give a lot of funding opportunities to international students. So if you are able to get your documents, you are able to talk to potential recommenders by this time, you are able to write your statement of purpose, your academic CV. Those are the major things you need, honestly. Then you need your transcript, you need your school degree certificate, you need what again? Yeah. Then by August ending and September, you put in your application. By December this year, you should be done. Expecting feedback from January, February, March, April. Next year, that is 2026. It sounds like it's far, but it's not far. Time is really going, right? And with that, because you were able to finish all your application in December, by January next year, you start receiving a lot of decisions. And your chances of getting into some of these schools is going to be very high. Why? Because there is something we call admission on a rolling basis. So admission on a rolling basis means that they don't wait until the deadline before they start giving out admission decisions or funding decisions. They start giving admission decisions as of when you put in your application. So imagine you put in your application by September, October, November, you are done. You can even get decision in December and not waiting for like the following year before you get a decision, because it's on a rolling basis. So it means any admission package or any application package they get, they sit on it right on, and they look at your qualification and everything, and they make a decision. They don't wait till the deadline before. So when I was in Ghana in 2022, when I was trying to apply for this study abroad thing, by December, almost all my schools I had finished applying. By December 2022, I was done. So in January, in February, around this time, I had started getting admission decisions from the school. It's a trick, it's a strategy, and you got to follow it, like how I'm saying it. Because if you don't follow it and you do it normal, like those kind of like a dassical attitude, and you are doing things anyhow, it is strategy. Applying to schools abroad is strategy. And I've been following Fred Effect for some time now, and recently he posted something which was true. What worked for me, what actually, helped me, how I was able to employ or deploy certain tactics and certain methods, certain strategies the past 2 years ago, it's not the same as those that are applying this year. What worked for me 2 years ago is not the same thing that is going to work for you this year. What I'm trying to say is that things are changing. Now Trump is the president of the United States, and today I will shock you with some of the things that are happening in higher education here in the United States. I'm telling you, I'll shock you with some of the things that are happening here. You know, he has frozen like a lot of like funds. Federal funds have been frozen in some schools for DEI, right? Diversity, equity, inclusion. Trump has frozen some of these funds, and let me just you want to share the link. You want to share the link, please. You want to share the link. If you're enjoying the conversation, you want to share the link. Long time, say, keep it up. Al Hassan, thank you. Yeah, it's been a while. Che bar for universities with high acceptance rate for international students. Che, there are a lot of schools. There are a lot of schools. There are a lot of schools with high acceptance rate. Let Google be your friend. If you have ChatGPT, you can even now. I heard there is deep thing, right? You can't DeepSeek rather. You can use it to search for some of this information. Okay. X-Bills Ebenezer, I have both HND and a top-up BTech in mechanical engineering, of which I want to do the WES evaluation before applying for schools in the United States. I want to ask, does the WES have expiration period? No, you can do WES anytime. It doesn't have any expiration date. You can do it anytime. Okay, so yeah, just that it's expensive, right? But when you do WES evaluation, I always tell people this: when you do WES evaluation, you'll be able to apply to schools that a lot of people are not targeting, because people don't really have money to do WES evaluation. So any school that accepts WES evaluation, people will try getting rid of, people will try avoiding those schools. So it gives you the opportunity to apply to such schools, because the more people are applying to a particular school, the less your chances of getting into such schools, right? Yeah, TikTok, I know you guys are also following. So yeah, if you have any questions, please ask me TikTok, and those on Facebook, wherever you are watching from, if you have any questions, ask me when it comes to your study abroad journey, when it comes to your study abroad experiences, processes, requirements. I'm here to help you out. Honestly, I did this on my own 2 years ago, and the benefit some of us are receiving here is very, very massive. We don't regret ever taking this decision. So please, don't give up. Don't give up. Okay. Giving up is just for the dead. Once you are alive, giving up shouldn't be an option. Don't give up. Please, I applied Empower loan for my brother, and they said the amount I requested is high and they cannot grant it. Yeah, so if it's high, try and let them reduce it. Honestly, I don't, I will never ask my sister to go for an Empower loan. Honestly, what goes into Empower loan is really serious. When you come here, Empower loan, the interest rate is something else. I'm telling you, the interest rate in Empower loan. I know people who came here with it. Later, they got assistantship and they canceled it. And even with that, it doesn't come that easy. So please, try and get assistant. There are a lot of ways you can get assistantship. Last year, one guy reached out to me, and he was coming with a fully funded scholarship. They gave him an apartment. They were going to give him allowance for food, and they were going to give him stipend at the end of the month. He got assistantship in a residence hall. He was coming for MBA. MBA, they don't normally fund, especially if you didn't write your GMAT or GRE. It's hard for you to get funding, MBA, those business programs. But this guy was coming here with MBA focus, and he got fully funded scholarship. Why? Because he was applying for external funding opportunities. So let me move. I think this is an opportunity for me to move on to those that applied last year and are getting admissions, but the admissions are not coming with funding. Because now I'm done. We are done with the first phase. The first phase, I just spoke to those that are starting the journey. I've told you what to do. Be proactive. Start talking to people in advance about your intentions to study abroad. Getting recommendation letters in Ghana is not that easy, but put in the effort. You get a point? Put in the effort. Recommendation letters normally don't require Gmail or Yahoo. They want an institutional email. evansasante.colorado.edu, evansasante.umaine.edu, evansasante@gov.edu. Those kind of, but it's not every school. That is why I tell people, always make sure you are reading everything that you see on the department website. You got to read. You got to read. You don't have to apply because everybody is applying. Later you make mistakes. Say, I didn't know. No, you should have known. Yeah, so keep asking your questions. I have Kwame here from TikTok. He says BSc Mathematics, MSc Applied Statistics, MA Leadership and Diploma in Education. Where's done? I need PhD stats or states. There is a lot of schools. Like I said, you can use ChatGPT. You should be using ChatGPT. You should use it as a tool, right? So use it as a tool to be looking for some of these specific schools, and you'll be shocked the kind of feedback chat is going to give you. You get a point? Or sometimes just go to Google and just type what you just typed here for them specifically. What do you want? The kind of school, and you get some suggestions and some, good output from there. So for those of you who are waiting for funding opportunities and graduate school interview, let me talk to those who have been scheduled for graduate school interview. If your department has actually reached out and they are asking you that, what, can you schedule a time we want to have an interview with you? Don't be perturbed. Don't be anxious. Go back to your statement of purpose. Go back to your academic CV, specifically the ones that you use in applying to that particular school, because they are not going to ask you questions outside of that. All the questions, whether direct or indirect, they are expecting you to expatiate and expand or elucidate some of the things that you said in your statement of purpose that probably you didn't get a chance to even expand on. Because normally US schools, you just apply, statement of purpose, you just have to write 2 pages. They don't want more. So sometimes you want to really express yourself. You couldn't express the interview is the avenue for you to go there and express yourself and tell them why you chose that school. Let them know why you chose that program. Let them know why you think you want to work with some professors. Let them know your future plans. Recently, I posted something. Someone said, "Oh, Evans, but it's not good to tell the school that you want to get a PhD after you are done." Having your graduate interview done is not like you going for your visa interview. They are 2 separate things. And even it's not even a sin for you to tell your visa officer that you want to do a PhD after you are done. Just that you have to be wise and strategic in how you say that. Because if you don't articulate your words well, they might think you want to stay in the country, which violates the non-immigrant visa status. Because as a non-immigrant applicant, it means that you are coming here for a temporal time or a temporal moment or a short period of time and come back to your home country, right? So you don't want to create that situation if you go for your visa interview. But at the graduate school level, you can tell them, if they ask you what are your future plans, what are your career aspirations, you can tell them you want to do a PhD after you are done getting a master's in their program or in their department. Some schools, they have masters and PhD. Some schools, they just concentrate on masters, right? But it doesn't matter. Let them know. Be sincere, be genuine, because if you get that opportunity, you take it. So I don't see any problem with it. So those of you who are waiting forward for your interviews and all of that, please revisit your statement of purpose. Revisit your academic CV. Why did you choose your program? There are a lot of schools in the United States. Why that particular school? Is there anything in their department that interests you? Is there anything that they are doing that you are fond of and you think is really going to help in your career path? So you go back and, remind and you just ask yourself some of these questions, because they are not going to ask you questions outside of this. And the last time I posted on my Facebook channel, I was saying they can ask you diversity question, and that one, it comes in different form. I can't give you a specific diversity question they might ask you, but you should have an answer for that. They can ask you. And always be mindful, once you are done with your interview, sometimes some of the interviews, they are just 10 minutes. They've scheduled it for 10 minutes. 10 minutes is done. That is all. Anytime you have an interview with your committee and they ask you, do you have any questions? Don't tell them, I don't have any questions. Before you go for the interview, please have like 2 questions. So have 2 questions prepared before you go for your interview. So that if they ask you, do you have any questions? I recently had an interview. When they finished, I asked them like 3 to 4 questions, and the woman was like, good, I love this question. Your ability to ask questions alone can even fetch you admission. Let me repeat what I said. I said you being very sharp in terms of asking the committee questions can even, because haven't you heard this before? They say those who are very smart are those who like to ask questions in class a lot. So go there and ask questions. Don't just, you can ask them about funding opportunities. Don't be like, oh, if I ask for funding opportunities, they might think, why am I so much into hey, you need the funding. You need the funding. If you come to the States and you don't have funding, let those who have come here and they didn't get funding, let them come and tell you their experience. You can't. I'm telling you, it's a lot goes into it. And sometimes, genuinely, that is why the visa officer tries to deny you your visa, because you don't have funding and you are not really convincing them who is going to take care of your deficit. Because when you come to the States and you don't have funding, honestly, your first semester, you go through it. You are not going to find it easy. Unless there's some grace and divine intervention, then you get funding in that same semester, because mostly they've given all the funding up. The only funding you can get are external funding opportunities, maybe dining, maybe school, but those funding don't cater for your tuition. They just give you stipend that can take a bit of your rent, but they can't really take off your tuition. And you know what makes US education very difficult for some people is the tuition. It's a lot of tuition. Imagine you are paying $30,000. Do the equivalent in cedis. $30,000. That is a lot. Please keep bringing your questions. We are live, and keep sharing the link. We are live. Study Abroad 2025. What are some of the things you have to note? What are some of the things you have to know? I'm here to answer all your questions. Tete Patrick, do you want to come on board? I can bring you on board so that you share your experience. If you want to come on board, Tete Patrick, just type in the comment section yes, and let me bring you on board. Okay. Today, I said today's session is impromptu, so I want to just let people come on board, ask any question. And honestly, I'm not a visa agent, I'm not a visa officer, but based on my own experience, I'll be able to give you certain answers that I believe is going to be very satisfactory. Yeah, so Tete Patrick, if you are here, you can hear me, you want to come on board, you want me to bring you on board so that you ask your question, just type yes in the comment section and I'll bring you on board for you to ask your questions. Yeah, so let me go to the last part of the set of people that I'm advising for 2025. So the last set is those that have gotten funding and are preparing. You know, the portal for applying for your visa and appointment date has changed. Now they use the AVITS, right? AVITS. I intentionally made someone take me through how it works, because this is something I do, study abroad, and I have to get updated. I have to get myself abreast and acquainted with the new platform. It is that easy and simple with the new platform. I love how everything, even if you get a new I-20 or a new DS-160, you just go there, you change it there. First, it was a very complex, intricate process, but now it's very smooth, especially with the AVITS platform. Like, you're able to do everything on that platform, and I believe it's a very good one, with how the design and the update went. I think they really did a good job with it. So please make sure you go there, book for a date. If you want to book for emergency date, you can do it there. I think you first have to book for a date, then you request for an emergency date. It's that simple. I just love the platform, like the design, how simple things are on the platform. I just love it. So please, if you've gotten, I know some people, they've gotten funding, they say I'm waiting for the other schools. Hey, if you don't take care, your date will be shifted to like 2027. Meanwhile, you have to come to school this year. So be smart about how you do these things. You can book for a date when you get a new I-20. You can update it, because you need that time to book. You get it. Once it's a fully funded opportunity, just take it and come to the state. And that's not to say don't really pay attention to your focus, because it also matters, right? But if you've gotten that and all of that, I will entreat you, congratulations. It was not easy, but you've made it through that first stage. And as you are coming to the United States, there are a lot of things that you have to be aware of. So I'm going to share 15 things that you have to know both before and after you've gotten admission, both before and after you've gotten funding, after you are in the States. Like I said, today's conversation is very general. I'm picking it from everywhere. Today is not specific. I didn't target any specific thing to come and talk about today. I'm actually planning on other days. Recently, something done on me to write 20 experiences or 20 things to know, 20 things that I've learned when I came to the United States. I think I've reached the 11th point. I'm still gathering them. So one of these days, I'll come on board and I'll share with you things that I've learned here that I think that as you are coming as an international student, you have to know. The kind of credit card you can use, how to be very careful about your SSN, how to a lot. So I'm putting them together, and I believe once I'm done with the 20 points, you're going to love it. So expect that. Dan, you want to? Oh, Dan, you are off. If you want to talk, please just try to request to come on board and let's chat. Let's chat. It's been a while, so today I'm just trying to, will you advise me to apply? I don't understand your question. Will you advise me to apply? Please, I have gotten a scholarship of $2,000 at St. Louis University. Will you advise me to apply? Apply for what? Is it Empower? Mhm. Empower. Yeah, ask your questions. Ask your question. Please, which do you recommend, SAT or IELTS? Um, yeah, if you are coming as an undergraduate, what I would advise you to do is go and write the SAT. You can't get rid of that. If you want to come as an undergraduate, go and write the SAT, right? So that is a must. You have to write it. You have to write the SAT when applying for undergraduate studies. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Keep your questions coming. Keep sharing so that other people can get access. Yeah, let's have a talk. We have like 30 minutes more. We still have more time. If you want to come, I think you should be able to join me, right? If you can't join me, let me know so that I'll be able to. Um, yeah, Patrick, you said yes. Oh, you want to join? I didn't see that. Let me add you, Patrick, you've been added. Where are you? I can't see you.
Um,
Yeah, you are muted, so unmute yourself.
yes, please.
Yeah, be a bit
And see me
louder.
at the
I think
moment.
I can't hear you proper.
Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I applied for 2 universities in the United States and forgot to. I applied for 2.
Oh, I can hear you.
Connection. Whilst
I can
waiting
hear
for
you.
the.
But yeah, it seems there's a bit of distraction at the back. I don't know, but if you can check and see if you can get like a smooth connection, I'll be
I
very
am
glad.
finding it. My connection is very bad at the moment.
Yeah, it's very bad.
Praise.
I can't really hear you proper. Yeah,
Praise, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. You can talk now. All right, Patrick, you request for it again and let's see how it goes. Okay, so I have Ed. Is it Ed? Is that your full name? You can talk now. Oh, Ed is off. So please, if you want to come on board and ask your questions, you should just request for it and ask me your questions. If you don't want to also let your face show for some reasons, you can also put your comments in the comment section as well. Samuel Dako Jr. Hello, senior. Please, I sent you a mail yesterday. Kindly check it for me. Okay, I'll check it. Thank you for the reminder. I am waiting for Northern Illinois University communication interview for graduate assistantship. What questions did they ask at your time? Yeah, that's a very good question. I got assistantship at Northern Illinois, but I turned them down. I couldn't go. Who is their coordinator? Oh, there's this popular guy. I've forgotten his name. Yeah, but he's a very good man. So don't really be afraid of the interview. Like I said, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I had an interview, honestly. Did I do an interview with him? No. No, I'm not sure I did an interview. He just told me to apply for a separate graduate assistantship. So I applied for it. I didn't hear back, and later he came to tell me I've gotten some tuition waiver. So it even didn't come with stipend. It was just a tuition waiver that I got. Okay, so if you are going to have an interview, then it means probably they want to consider you for graduate assistantship. I don't remember having an interview with them. Honestly, all the schools I did, the ones that I did interviews with, it was just the higher educational programs. It wasn't the communication programs. The communication programs that I did interviews with them were like after I had gotten admission and funding. They just wanted to let me talk and know my interest and my research areas. Right. So I think one thing you can do is, like I said, go back to your statement of purpose, go back to your academic CV, and at least know one or two things about that specific department. What are their beliefs? What are their vision statements? Just know it. I'm not saying go and memorize it, but just know it. So that, because the question can come from anywhere. You get a point. But all the same, whether directly or indirectly, it will be based on your statement of purpose. It will be based on your academic CV. So make sure you revisit it and know the things, because you can't write something in the statement of purpose. They come and they are asking you and you can't articulate ideas. No, then it means probably you didn't even write the statement of purpose. Okay. Yeah. Request. I think people should come and talk, or request. If you can't access it, let me know so that I'll know what to do. Patrick Tete, let's do it again. Let's see if it works this time around.
Okay. Okay, what I was saying is that I applied for 2 schools in the United States, and initially I was given admission for both. For one school, San Francisco Bay University, I was given 50% scholarship on tuition. And the other school, I applied for a dual program, which I have received an offer for one. I am still waiting for the other one. Indiana University of Pennsylvania, I applied for a dual program. So I am currently waiting for the other admission to come so that I can apply for graduate assistantship. Already, I have gotten in touch with the admission coordinator and my counselor, which he encouraged me to do my research very well, so that at the end of the day, if I am lucky to get the other admission, the probability that I'm going to be given the graduate assistantship is very high. But the other one right now, I'm waiting for the I-20 to be issued so that I can prepare for my visa interview. Before the I-20 is being issued, what will you encourage me to do whilst waiting for the I-20 to be issued?
Is it for the school that you got the 50% tuition waiver?
Yes, please. They've requested for my financial statement and I've made it available to them. Which they promised that the I-20 will be available for MBA.
Okay, so
Masters in Business Administration.
Which kind of advice do you want with that? Which specific advice do you want with that?
What I'm saying is, once waiting for the I-20 to be issued,
yeah,
and revisiting my statement of purpose at the moment as a form of preparation towards the visa interview, what advice will you, or what will you encourage me to do? As such, me revisiting my statement of purpose and waiting for the I-20 to be issued so that I can book my visa interview.
So let me make it simple for you. Don't rush with the process as you are waiting for the I-20. That is a very good one. What you're going to do is that send me proof of your admission. You can check my email, check my bio, Facebook, my bio, evansasante711@gmail.com. I'll put it in the comment section. send me a proof of your
Okay, I'll do that.
Once you send me a proof of your admission, every year freely I prepare students for free mock interview sessions. So I'll add you, and we will start prepping you guys this coming week. So and it's not just going to be this week. We'll prep you to the time that you go and get your visa. So just send me your proof, maybe your admission letter, and once I see that, I'll send
My
you
admission letter.
and I'll send you a private WhatsApp link so that you can join and you'll be part of the students that will be prepping for this year's free visa mock session. Okay.
I'll be very grateful for that.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
share it
So
with you once
just send me the
after the
documents.
session.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that. I will do that.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so that's how we do it. That's how we do it. Eva Gas Online. You want to keep sharing the link. You've been here for a while, you've not shared the link. It's not good. You can't be doing that. You have to change your lifestyle. Please share the link. Athlete Evolution. Evans, I know Mona asked you about the service transfer. I was denied last year, and my service ID expires in June. Live will end in 5 minutes. Oh, is this how TikTok is? What is happening? Those on TikTok, if the live goes off, please follow me on Facebook. I'm live there. Ivagas TV on Facebook. Ivagas TV, graduate school application. Ivagas TV. Okay, encourage more viewers to share. Yeah, that's true. Gift. Which school did you apply for higher education programs? I did Maine. I did Maine. I did Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa is not taking application this year and next year, based on what I checked recently. As an accounting education student, which program can you study in the state? Accounting education. There are a lot, it depends. It depends. And it will be hard for me because I don't really have a lot of information about the cons program. Good afternoon. Please, how many letters of recommendation are required for undergraduate? I'm not sure undergraduate you need recommendation letters. I'm not sure undergraduate you need recommend. I might be wrong. So please verify and let me know. Who is coming? Evans, I know Mona asked you about the service transfer. I was denied last year and my service ID expires in June. I am now going to a different school. So how do I go about the service transfer? Service transfer, is it like I just want to be before I give you any information, is it like the service fee, the one that you paid, that is what is getting expired and you are going for an interview, so you want to change that? Is that a case? Or you are talking about the service ID on your I-20? Because those are two separate things. So let be specific. Let me know which one it is. Then I will know what to tell you. Okay. Evans, I know Mona asked you about the service transfer. I was denied last year. And my service ID, so you were denied at the visa level or at the school level. And my service ID expires in June. So here, what I'm trying to make a lot of meaning from this. So make it more clear. So which service are you talking about? Are you talking about the service fee? That is the one you paid to the US government. And the fact that, I know that one is within 1 year period. After 1 year, it expires. So is that what you are actually talking about? Or you are talking about transferring your service ID as in your I-20 to a different school? Who is on board? Ohio asks for my official transcript. What could be the reason? They sometimes it's part of the application process. Before they make any decision, they would love to get maybe your official transcript. It's not the same for all the schools. Some schools, they will give you admission, they will give you funding, and after that, request for the official transcript. And even with that, you don't need to ship it to them. It is when you are going to the school or you are coming to the school, that is when you bring the original copies. You take it to the administration, they make photocopies, or you take it to ISS, they make photocopy, then you take your original copies back. But if they are telling you they need your official transcript, it means you have to, one, request it from your school. Normally, ask them whether they want it to be shipped or they want it to be provided to them via an email. So if they want it to be shipped, it means you have to go to your school, use your school's post address or post office and ship it to them, which is going to be kind of expensive. But if they want you to send it to a particular email they are going to provide, it means you have to talk to your school's administration, those that are in charge of the transcript, and they will send your official transcript to the school's email. So once your school is using their email to send your official, like to send your transcript to the school that you'll be attending in Ohio, it becomes official. I hope I've explained that to you. Yeah. Will both SAT and IELTS do? Yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. I think SAT, even only with SAT, you should be fine. But if you want to do the two too, yeah, encourage more viewers to share. You want to share the link wherever you are. Let's see. Festus Nima Titete. He says, please, is Singapore good for international students? I have applied for admission. Hey, Charlie, Singapore is far. Yeah. I don't have a lot of knowledge about that, so I don't want to say something that I'm not sure about. But I feel it should be okay for international students. Sometimes it depends. You just have to weigh a lot of things when it comes to tuition, when it comes to living conditions, when it comes to all those things. You have to check, and sometimes you can just go to LinkedIn and type international students or Ghanaian students in Singapore. You'll be shocked. You see some people there and you connect with them and you ask them some of these questions. That is one trick. Yeah. Hello, senior. Please, I sent you. Okay, I've responded to that. Is there an application where, okay, is there an implication when I let my recommender send me the link he receives, then I submit the recommendation letter from my end? It depends. It depends on the school. But honestly, you sending recommendation letters and you requesting for the fact that you don't want to see it shows some level of confidence, shows some level of I don't know how to put it, but they trust that you know that these people really, like the person sending the recommendation letter on your behalf really knows you. You have that personal encounter with the person. So it like you trust the person. But if you want to see it before it goes, it means it's like you don't even trust the person sending the recommendation letter on your behalf. So they can read a lot of meanings into that. And that can affect you, because let me tell you the secret. One of the factors that decide your admission and your funding is also who recommends you. So mostly you have to waive your right to see it. You don't want to see it. It should go confidential, confidence. You have trust that this person has written something good about you. But it's also funny because I know one guy who requested his right not to see it. He waived his right, and the professor wrote bad things about him, and that denied him the school. But please, that's why you have to make sure the people who are recommending you are people that you know, not just anyone at all. You know, not people that, yeah, I think time is fast spent. So let me mention some of the things that I had for today. Choosing the right country and university. So if you are preparing to apply to school, if you are preparing to come, it's for everybody. Like I said, today are just some general stuff. So choosing the right country and university, it is very, very important. Number one, choosing the right country and university is very, very important. When I was applying to schools, I did Germany. I did the Dutch scholarship. It didn't go well. So I wanted to add Japan. When I decided to add Japan, I'm like, if I add Japan, I'm trying Germany, I want to add USA. That is a lot of work. So I'm going to drop those two countries, Japan and Germany, and focus on United States, because, you know, I just love the United States. Reasons best known to me, but I just love United States, and I decided to go in for schools in the United States. And one of the reasons was also because my friends had come here. So I realized at least if some of the friends that were close to me have been able to come, then it means if I need any guidance, it will be very easier for them to administer some guidance to me. So that is one of the reasons why I decided to just focus on the on US. So it is very vital for you to know which country. Someone just said Singapore. I know by now someone is trying Australia, Canada, UK. It's not bad. It's good. Sometimes to someone will tell you, don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know that adage or whatever. Yeah. So because I didn't before I started, or as I started, I did Germany, I tried Japan, and later I came to settle on USA. right? So just look at what works for you. You get a point, and just go with that, because the country and the university you are coming to is also part of how your is part of how it's going to shape you in the future. It's part of how it's going to shape your purpose, your career, right? Talk about tuition, talk about cost, talk about living expenses, talk about quality of education, talk about job opportunities. A country might be very good when it comes to international students adaptability. A school might be very good when it comes to, cost of living. But ask yourself, are there good job opportunities? Because you can't say the same for everywhere. It's not every country outside of your home country that you think, oh, because I left my home country to this place, after I'm done with school, it's going to be very easy for me to get a job. It's not the case. But I can tell you for a fact that US is land of opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities here. We'll have a discussion about that later, but that's just by the way. It's also a way to inform you where you are going to. Why are you going to this place? What is there for you? What do you want to pursue? After school, what do you want to do? Are there job opportunities, or you got to struggle before you get jobs? You have to be asking yourself all these critical questions. Understanding admission requirements too. Understand admission requirements. The admission requirement for UK is totally different from admission requirements for the United States. It's also very different for Canada. Canada, I realize you have to just, put it on note, like you have to fill some forms and like you write it, right? UK too, I know some of like the Chevening scholarship you write, you get a point. US too is the same, but kind of a bit very different, right? Because sometimes they have to interview you. Some of the other countries, they might not interview you, right? US, you have to go for your visa interview face-to-face with a viewer, with a consular. Canada, you don't have to go for face-to-face interview with your consular. UK, you don't have to go for face-to-face. So you have to understand the admission process. Ask yourself, based on your capabilities and based on your abilities, which one do you think will be easier for you? Which one do you think is not going to stress you? The truth is that all of them, they are going to stress you, but choose the less of the stressing. You get the whole point. So understand the admission requirements. GPA, very, very important. US, when you don't have 3.0, is going to be very hard for some programs. Some of them, the least they will take is 2.7. So ask yourself, okay, can I do WES evaluation? Because I've heard somewhere when I do WES evaluation, it will upgrade mine. Then you do it. Oh, I have 3.0, then I don't need to do WES evaluation. Your 3.0 can even waive some test scores for you. Northern Illinois, they waived the test scores for me because I had 3.0. So imagine someone was also applying to the same department and the person had 2.7. It means they were not going to waive it for the person. The person would have had to go and write test scores like the GRE. But they waived it for me because I had 3.0 and above. So you should know what goes into some of these things. Standardized tests. We have the GRE, TOEFL, IELTS, etc., GMAT, and required documents. Know what goes into all of this. Do you want a school that is requesting for this document, or you want a school that is really not focused on these documents? Then you decide. It is planning, strategy, right? Let's go to the third point. So the third point, scholarships and financial aids. Sometimes I get emails, someone will come to me, even I apply to this school and I don't know whether they will give me scholarship, but they give me admission. That is a red flag. That is a mistake. You don't apply to a school if you are not certain they give funding. You don't apply to a school if you know they are not going to give you any scholarship. Don't waste your time. Because it's not like you are coming from a rich home where you don't need it. Because if you are coming from a rich home, you just need admission, where I can assure you that getting admission in the United States is very easy. But funding is not, it's very competitive. So if you know home, no one can really take care of your study abroad, deficit and cost, then you should strive for looking out for schools where there are scholarships. Those days when I was in Ghana, I was applying to schools. Any school that I saw, like, we provide limited amount of scholarship, I will not apply. Limited. Hey, I will not apply. Limited means they will just, sometimes if you are bold enough to ask them, they can tell you this year we are just taking 2 students. Like, we will just consider 2 students for assistantship. But you'll be like 18 or 20 people, and they are going to consider. That is not to say don't apply, because sometimes you also have to take that bold step and be confident in your application and go for it, right? Sometimes you have to go for it. So it's not to say that because they said limited, you don't want to. But I would prefer going for the one that they didn't say limited. They said we consider students for funding opportunities. You get the point. But when I see limited, I'm a bit skeptical, because limited means it's going to be very tough. And although I believe in my capabilities, but I just want to put myself in a place where I think I'll be in a comfortable lead one way or the other. So make sure you take note of that. And the fourth point, application process and deadlines. You should know the deadlines. Like I said, if you're applying to any school, we have what we call priority deadline, and we have what we call the normal deadline. So priority deadline means that when you apply before or right on that timeline, you'll be considered for funding for priority deadline. But if you exceed and you don't apply during or right on time for the priority deadline, and you apply for the normal general deadline, you might not be considered for funding. They will just give you admission, but they might not give you funding, which you don't want that to be the case. So why don't you want to, go in for the ones like the priority deadline? So you're applying to school this year for next year, and they will tell you priority deadline. So maybe they open their portal in August or September, and they tell you priority deadline is in December or November. It means by that time, all right, on that time, you should be able to send your application. If it exceeds to the general, because sometimes they'll tell you priority deadline 15th November, and they'll tell you another deadline, general deadline or deadline is in April or is in March the following year. Don't say, oh, it's in March the following year, so I can wait. No, I've already talked about priority admission on a rolling basis. So consider the priority. You should, it is, let's go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go to the 5th point. Writing a strong statement of purpose and recommendation letters. So tips on crafting compelling essays and securing great references. Like I said, your reference letters or your references, your recommenders can be very, they can play an integral role in you getting admission and funding. You don't want, some schools, I know Tech, when you request for recommendation letters, they will tell you to apply through the school. You don't want that one. That one is too generic. They are using that one for every student that asks for. You want a personalized recommendation letter from someone you know. Oh, I know Evans. He was a very good student. He used to participate in groups. He was always leading his class discussions, and he even got an A in my paper. He's very good. I remember when I was teaching him this course, he exhibited some strong communicative and some strong critical analytical thinking skills. I believe it's a very good fit for your program. And if you have Evans in your department, it's really going to help your department, because it's going to bring a lot of productivity. That is a proper recommendation letter. You don't get the recommendation letters where they will just write 3 sentences. Oh, he's a good student. I think you people should give him the offer. Yeah, I taught him. That's all. No, you don't want that. You want a personalized kind of recommendation letter. Let's go to the next point. Visa application process. Know what goes into it. There are a lot of YouTubers today in the world, in the system. Go to YouTube. Application. I just got admission. How do I apply on the new AVIT platform? YouTubers, we've done videos on that. Know everything that goes into the process when it comes to visa application process. Accommodation and living expenses. You are leaving Ghana, you are living wherever you are coming to study abroad. Know that it's not going to be easy. Some of the schools, you have to even let people secure a place you come and sleep. US, they don't pay in advance, right? Your rent, you don't pay in advance, you pay monthly. I've not heard any state where they take rent in advance, like 2 years, where Ghana, they can do 6 months or 5 years in advance. Here, you pay monthly. So as you are coming in, you will need to get some cash and send it for some of the students who are already here to secure a place for you. I was not fortunate enough. So when I came, I didn't get a place to sleep. So I went to sleep. I was fortunate. My professor gave me a place to sleep for a week before I finally got a place. You get a point. So please, and one of the trick is also the fact that some of the schools, they have emergency fund graduate housing opportunities. Emergency graduate housing. So reach out to graduate school. Oh, I'm coming, but I don't have money. So I'm reaching out. If you have emergency place for me to like sleep, so that I use that two weeks or 1 month to look for a permanent place. It works. I know you've not heard this before, so I'm telling you, be aware of that. Okay, let's go to the next point: cultural adaptation and language barrier. As you are coming here, be prepared, be mindful. Cultural adaptation and language barrier. You are coming from a different environment to a new environment where nobody really cares about you. Have you heard about individualism? Have you heard about individualistic? Have you heard about independency? That is how the US is like. People do their own thing and they don't really care about you. You get a point. So if you are coming here, you think you have that community where you can get up in the morning and go and knock on someone's door and ask for salt because you ran out of salt. That is not going to work here in the United States. It doesn't really happen like that. The community level here is really down. It's not like Ghana where you walk past KJTR or Kaswa, or you go to Circle and you hear the cars making noise, you hear people making noise, those things. You are not going to hear that in here. The last time I was telling someone, when I came here, I've never heard a cock crow before. Like, you don't even hear the goat. You're not. It's very hard. This place, that's why sometimes the depression is serious, the homesick. So know all these things before you come. Cultural adaptation, language barrier. If the white man talk, you not understand. If that white lady of yours in class talk, you not understand. When you come, no matter how good you are in Ghana, if you like be the best English professor in Ghana, when you come here with the way they speak is very different. Unless maybe you are someone who used to watch these American movies and all of that, like a lot. Because, they talk with, I don't know how to put it. But sometimes when they are talking, it's like they are singing. They go with the rhythm or the rhymes or whatever. They raise it and it comes. It's not everybody. And it's even funny how different states speak differently. So you come and they can speak 1,000 words in 1 second and you will not understand. He said, pardon, can you come again? I didn't hear what you said. The person will try and break it down for you to hear. Now you also talk, they will not hear. Because you are talking with your thick Ghanaian accent. Tree brofo. Oh boy. You get the point. So you have to know this. So when you come and it's happening like that, don't be worried. It takes its time. Once you spend first semester 4 months, you'll be adjusting. I've been here for 1.5 years. I'm still not perfect in terms of me being able to hear them when they talk, and when I talk, they being able to hear me. But at least it's far better than when I came. Now you be in class, they will talk, you will not hear anything. So sometimes you'll be in class, they are laughing, you also laugh, but you don't know what even the person said. But you also have to laugh, because if you don't laugh, they might think, this guy is like, he's not understanding what we're talking about. Why is it that he's not laughing? So sometimes you laugh because the whole class is laughing, not because you understood what the person said, but you are just laughing to let them know that you understood or you heard everything. That's how funny it is. So you have to know there are a lot of cultural barriers. There are a lot of things that you got to adapt to. I can share a lot with you, but we can have time and talk about that, right? That is why it is good to have friends that are, natives, have friends that were born here, so that the more you keep talking to them, the more, it helps you. Sometimes I tell people it's not about talking like them. It's about how to pronounce the words, because how we used to pronounce certain words is very different. And also based on where you are coming from, this is American English. Ghana, we use the British English, So instead of saying water bottle, the British will say water bottle. So that's how even serious it is. You get a point. So even how we write. So instead of saying length, I learned that. US, they will not say length. They will say land. Learned, right? Instead of length, they are going to use the length. So these similarities, these differences It's really not going to be easy for you when you come here. But one thing that helps is the fact that when you get your computer and you change your location and you change your settings, automatically all the things you type in or all the things you write becomes Americanized, American form of English, right? But when it comes to speaking, you have to make intentional effort or deliberate effort in trying to adjust, because it's really not going to be the same. That's just by the way. Let's go to another one. Working while studying. It's easy, but it's not easy. So when you come here, basically you are going to work, teaching assistant, research assistant, administrative assistant. Combining it with studies, it's not going to be easy, but you'll be able to do it. So some students, when they come and they are just doing 3 courses, they say, in Ghana, I did 5 courses. I did 21 credit. Here, why am I doing just 9? Hey, here, their 9 credits is like their 50 credits. So don't make that mistake if you come here and they just made you choose 3 courses and you are like, no, this 3, because it's very rigorous. So I beg you, when you come, it's 3. That's what I did. 3. And this last semester, I'm taking just 1 course. So please take it slow. We beg you. We know you are sharp. We know you are brilliant, but please take it 3 at a time. So that's just by the way, because if you take like 12 credits or you take like 4 to 5 courses and you are working at the same time, it's going to be a lot of chaos for you, honestly speaking. Mental health and support systems is going to be very, very critical. In Ghana or wherever you are watching from, you are not really getting the opportunity to really get mental support. This kind of African hardness and African, what am I using therapy for? If I tell you I used therapy here at the time, you might not believe me. But I didn't use it because I was going through any serious tough time that was beyond my strength. But I just wanted to use it because it's free. It's part of the health insurance that I was given. So I went, and sometimes how things even go is like both of us, we are just chatting and having normal conversation. Because normally when you are going, you have to fill like a form and they'll ask you, anxiety, depression, because I'll just be checking 000 because nothing was really happening. But times where you just want someone to speak with, right? So please, when you come here, don't do that hardness. I know you are hard. You're an African man. You are hard. Everything, you just take it and it's inside. You don't share. Here it's not like that. You'd love to share some of the things with some of the people you trust back home or here, or sometimes just go to the mental health just to talk through things, because honestly you can go through stuff that sometimes if you don't talk through some of these things with people, they can come back to affect you one way or the other. So yeah, guys, I hope you are enjoying the conversation. I have like 2 other points for you, then we are done for today. Networking and career opportunities. US, the fact that people tell you US is land of opportunities, it doesn't mean you come and once you are done with school, the jobs are coming for you. It's a lie. You go through it. I'm telling you, you go through it. It's not that easy like that, how we say it. You have to apply. And if I tell you the number of students that come here and after they are looking for jobs they don't get, so they have to go back to their home country, it will shock you, right? The opportunities are here, but you have to be strategic. You get a point. Your sharpness or how brilliant you are alone is not going to fetch you that opportunity. You get a point? Because you think you are sharp, you think you are brilliant, you think you know it all, so you don't even care about people. Hey, you don't want to make that mistake here. You got to network. Me, as I'm sitting, I have Chinese friends, I have Turkish friends, I have friends from all over the country. It's a strategy. You have to be very intentional and deliberate about it. Recently, I even bought a book, How to Influence and Win Friends or whatever. I've forgotten the name. It's in my room. I don't want to go and bring it. But, it's not that I'm not good at it. I'm trying my best. But even I want to read more and know more about how to build intentional networks and connections. I'm telling you, you need information, or like how I'm here sharing information with you. Someone is here, maybe it's your first time hearing me out. You didn't know some of these things, that you can come and study abroad with a fully funded scholarship without you paying for anything. It's real. Recently, someone sent me his decision, $90,000 scholarship. Seminar, he's going for master's in divinity. They've taken care of everything, 2-bedroom. his food, everything. You are there, you said that, yeah, things are happening. You have to be very strategic, and things have changed. Like I said, when Trump came, a lot of things have changed in the higher education here. So you have to double up. You have to double up your steps. Like, you have to be very strategic. Why do you think most of the schools have wasted time in giving admission decisions? A lot is happening in the schools here in the United States because of the current administration. A lot is going on. Some of them, they are too political. Honestly, I can't talk about them here, right? I can't talk about them here, but you should know that it's not better like 2 years ago. And that is also not to scare you. That is to motivate you to put in the effort, keep on striving, and be very resilient about this whole process and this whole journey. You get my point? So network and career opportunities. You come here, in Ghana, when we're in school, we have long vac. So when you come here we have short vac and long vac. So long vac, you have 3 months. So it's either you go and do internship in a company, then once you go there, when we go, we would let them know that we can do the job. So when you go there, you are done with your summer internship. Now, when you are done with school and you want a permanent employment in that company, it becomes easier. But you came to school and summer, long break, you didn't go anywhere. You were just indoors. You didn't do anything. You just join some friends somewhere. Hey, it will affect you once you graduate. You get the point? So build career opportunities. Every school, they have career opportunities there where they bring employers like on board for them to come and, you go with your CV, they'll look at it, and you have to take advantage of that. You get my point? And network with people, be very intentional. If you are here and you are coming to study IT, let LinkedIn be your friend. Hey, let LinkedIn be your friend, because it's a professional place where a lot of people connect. And you get a job there easily based on how you position yourself on LinkedIn. Network. There are some companies, Google, Amazon, there are some jobs here. When you don't get referrals from people who are already working there, they will never choose you. Or even if they will choose you, it's going to go through a lot of process. So you are here, you want to work at Google, you have a friend there. Or you don't, the person must not even necessarily have to be your friend. You just reach out to them on LinkedIn, right? I have this qualification, I have this, I've done this certification, and I need a referral. So they will refer you to their boss in the company. Then the boss will reach out to you. That is how people get jobs here. So if you think you can just sit down and apply, yeah, that is also there. That is also another way. But most of the companies really love the referral. The fact that someone who is already working in the company referred you, then it becomes easier for them. Because we'll be now referral. Sometimes they can be like, what do you say? So referrals, it really works. So networking and career opportunities. Network. Some of you come here, you are very distant from your professors. Network with your professors. Your professors know certain things in this country you will never know. And until you bond with them like that, that is when they will tell you some of these things. So network with these professors. Don't just let it be academic stuff. They know things. They've been here for ages. They've been here for decades. Network with your professors. Some of us, when we were coming from Ghana, we bought African print. We came to dash to them. And okay. Oh dear. Yeah, so the last one is I think that is that. And please, if you are still expecting decisions from the schools, let your email be your friend. Be checking your emails like something. Be checking, especially during the weekdays, because honestly, schools have started sending their decisions. If you didn't get in this year, I'm very sorry for you. That is not the end. Push again. I know recommendation letters going to be hard. Still push. I'm telling you, and everything will be fine. Sometimes you have to check your spam messages, because some of the messages, some of them are encrypted, and sometimes they just go to your spam. So just check your spam and make sure, Bye. I hope I've been able to. Let me see if I have 1 or 2 questions. We spent almost half and half and more. Please, any school with a lot of funding for, like I said, now there's DeepSeek. Now there's ChatGPT. Use it. You get my point. Please, I have sent you admission offer via email. Okay, I'll check it and send you the link for you to join. Kote, it's been a long time. True. How are you, my brother? Veronica Hope, I see you. Thank you very much for your constant and unflinching support. You've been very, very instrumental to this channel. We really appreciate it. Thank you for the information. Can you provide 2 different BS of your sponsor as proof of funds? Can you provide 2 different bank statements of your sponsor as proof of funds? Yes, please, you can do that. Thank you guys for tuning in today. And until we meet again, take good care of yourself. And like I said, next week, we're coming live with Jack Lord, Michael, for him to share his study abroad experience. Thank you very much and have a nice evening. Bye.